Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at SMT in Nuremberg 2014 and I'm joined by Florian Schildein from Butter and Salt.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about butter and salt. Why butter and salt and what does it mean?
Why butter and salt? Yes. It's not a daily, so it's something which is a little bit related to what I did in the last 6 years. As you maybe know, I worked for SMT the last six and a half years in marketing and sales. And during that time, I had the opportunity to learn a lot about the industry, build up a little network, and got in touch with many interesting people who are influencing the industry in certain areas. And during the last month, I thought about, how can you use that know-how, those experience? And I came to the point where I said to myself, try your own business. Use that tool, that gift.
Yeah, that knowledge.
And so I thought about opening a consultant company for marketing and sales consultancy for B2B companies out of the small and mid-size area.
Okay.
And butter and salt, why butter and salt? It's not a common name in that industry.
Of course.
There's no tech or whatever in the name. If we are leaving that technology environment and going into cooking, you need butter and salt for a tasteful dish.
Okay.
And not only in the electronic industry, in all the other B2B markets, we have great ideas. Already great products where you need a little bit butter and salt to make it more tasteful.
A bit of seasoning, a bit of refining.
Exactly, and that's the story behind the name.
Okay.
And if you're talking to somebody out of that industry and you're introducing yourself with that name, the people are starting, all right, what's the story behind? So you have to tell something.
So there has to start with a conversation. Makes perfect sense. So technical marketing businesses, specifically in the electronic manufacturing sector or broadly B2B technology companies?
Broadly B2B. Of course, after 6 years in that industry, you have links to the industry, you have to be here to get in touch with people to use your network. That's for sure. But we are talking also to other companies who are completely out of that world, who are working in other industries which are not related or linked to electronics at all. So that makes it very interesting at the moment because the frame where you're working in is opening and it's getting more and more interesting to talk to complete different industries and people out of that areas.
Okay, so exciting times for you, exciting times for a new business. When we look at this industry, it's a pretty technology-driven industry. It tends to, you look at that traditional A4 advert in a publication, it tends to be a title and image and a list of bullet points with benefits and maybe a call to action if they've remembered to do that. When you look at the industry, what do you think they're doing well in terms of marketing and what do you think they're perhaps struggling a bit with?
In my opinion, it's not only marketing, it's marketing and sales. So that means we have players in that industry who are very good in doing marketing and they have also a very good sales force, and there you know that they know what they are talking about. They need only, they have to use little screws to be a little bit better, but generally more or less they're doing a very good job. But there are other companies, not only in that industry, that's globally or in general. They have a very good product, and it's easy for them to develop that product, to improve it, and to talk to other people about it. But they are not able to bring it into or to give it a right audience in terms of marketing, and through the marketing also to reach the right customers.
Right. Okay.
And that's the story behind. I mean, we are offering marketing strategy at a first in a first point where the customer can choose what he would like to do. Only that little, all right, check the screws, what we can do, or Should we go for the full range of marketing strategies?
Yeah.
And then it comes to the point where you have to generate the tools for that marketing strategy too. What we are offering too with a bunch of people who are in our backyard.
Yeah. Okay.
And when the tools are ready, they have to go to these tools have to be sent to the customer, to the potential customer. So we are talking in that case about a communication and sales strategy, and we have customers who are saying we would like to have the full range. We don't want to have you in the market to generate the deals. We just would like to have the ideas from your side. And we have potential customers who are just saying, we would like to go in a certain area and that's it, and therefore we would like to talk to you about marketing ideas.
So sometimes you're providing the seasoning, sometimes the ingredients, and sometimes the whole meal.
Complete.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, makes lots of sense. And it's interesting. We look at a trade show like this, and there are lots of similar size shows, different parts of the world. I actually think SMT is a really nice show. I've always liked it. People do a good job. There's a lot of repping agencies here that do a nice job of promoting their principles as well as the principles themselves. But there's a big regional variation. You see a similar size show in the US, like Apex perhaps, and it's kind of tends to be shell scheme, pole and drape, much lower. Do you think there are big variations in the kind of global market? And you've worked in those markets, so do you think that's somewhere where you can add value, that cultural understanding?
First of all, I have to realize now that my position using that show is completely different to what I did last year.
Yes.
And to make it short, the last 6 years, I was standing on the booth in that tunnel, talking to customers, talking to partners, and so on. Now I have no booth. I'm walking around. I'm meeting people, and you're realizing that the show is much more than your own booth in the past.
What you can see,
Correct. So it's hard for me to make that compensation, or not compensation, to
make the switch.
To make the switch to, all right, how's the Apex doing in that case? Because so far, I was on the Apex only again in that tunnel on the booth, But what I see at the moment here at the SMT show, there's something going on in Germany. I think the business is growing up again.
Okay,
the show is packed, it's crowded. And if you talk to people who are still on their booth, they're quite optimistic what's going on. So that is a positive sign, which is good for the show and good for the market at all.
Yeah, it seems to reflect that. Last question: you've wandered around for the first time as a marketeer, regardless of whether you're looking out from the tunnel or you're looking at the big picture. You seen anything that's really grabbed your attention? You thought that's clever. I'll tell you my favourite.
All right. Would you like to start?
I'll start. Give you some thinking time. Just over here, there's a creperie on a booth, and it has been full throughout the show. Simple thing, but it's just bringing people back to the booth. It's not product related, but I just those little methods where you build that rapport with your clients seem to work well at this kind of show, particularly these cozier shows.
I mean, so far I had not really time to look at certain booths and what they are doing there and so on, because I was running from one appointment to another. But what I realize is that the level of hospitality at the booth is changing. So the companies are spending more money on filling the space up with a nice bar, offering good food, drinks, and beside that you have the machine. So it's all right. Everybody knows what we are doing. But let's network. Let's sit together, have a coffee, have a snack. So that is one point, which is a little bit obvious.
I think hospitality is more important at this show than many shows.
Yes.
And people will stay for drinks after the show here,
definitely.
which they wouldn't do in Vegas. So.
And I think the companies are spending more money or sending more people, which means more money at all too, sending more people to the stands to take care of what's going on there.
Okay.
So suddenly you have time, even on a Wednesday, which is the high
Busy
noon
day,
for that show. You have time on a Wednesday to talk to people because they have time, because they are not covered for 8 hours with one customer and one conversation after another. They have time to have 5 minutes talking to you, and that's I think a good thing, because a show must be also something for networking, exchanging ideas, getting in touch.
I think that extra time is important. A lot of people said they're more likely to have a meaningful conversation on the booth here than perhaps they are in Productronica, where it's much busier, much more flow of people coming
definitely,
through. So
definitely.
Big change there. Florian, you've done a great job marketing SMT over the last few years. That'll stand you in good stead, but you also know everybody in the market, journalists, the media, everybody. So good luck with your business, but I'm sure it'll be a success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.